Yeah, that's extremely late again. You know your man always be out. I be out doing business, so I can't. I'm not home watch it to be able to watch it live. So no intro, extremely late. So I'm just gonna upload this thing. AEW Blood and Guts 2. I believe it's Blood and Guts 2. Yeah, Blood and Guts 2. This is the aftermath of Forbidden Door. Let me tell y'all something. Remember what I said? I said every time we come off a pay per view, I always expect the episode to be fire, and I expect everything to be great. I don't need maybe one thing on the show could be a downer, but for the most part, I expect like 80% of the show to be up top. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think only 50% of this show was great. The other 50 was just on the show just to be on the show, and this is what I'll be talking about when I say Tony Khan and his inconsistency. That when you coming off of stuff, it's like he just half booked stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about the injury that happened to Santana. Man, injuries in wrestling, it's just that man. Y'all see why I be praying for these wrestlers to be 100% healthy all year long, because these injuries just coming out the woodwork. Now Santana's injury, he could have avoided that, and I'll talk about it when I get to the main event. But let's break down this show. So live from the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Listen, you might have to think about getting the pay per view there because Detroit was hot all night long. One thing I got to give Tony Khan, when he go to these certain areas that he go to, the crowd, kudos to the crowds because they just be hyped for. My goodness, they just be hyped. They be hyped. Now we open up the show with OC taking on Ethan Page. OC has new music. I'm gonna have to get used to it. I'm not really on board with the new music yet, but the crowd went nuts. Well deserved. He put on a classic with Will Ospreay and Forbidden Door. Didn't come up with the win, but I knew that he was winning this match. So Ethan Page come out, and you see Dan Lambert just running off at the mouth saying some bull jive, and that's when the fans started telling him to shut the F up. Now, he did have a bottle of orange juice, which was it was right. It was only right because it's going against OC. This matchup was okay. I think this was more. They were more focusing on the circusness of the match, about all the shenanigans going on outside the ring involving Dan and OC doing what he does. Ethan trying to flex and everything. Now, now the reason why everybody was telling Dan that shut the F up is because OC and the best friends with a returning Chucky T. He's been absent. Don't know why he's been absent. The two of them, Chucky T and Trent Beretta, came dressed up wearing tie-dye attire. Don't know why. They came out looking goofy as heck. Dan Lambert asked Bryce if he could escort them out so it wouldn't be a handicap match. In other words, they wouldn't cheat. Well, they're not going to cheat, Dan. You are the only one that's out there cheating. They the baby faces. So unfortunately, Bryce told them to leave, and they was like, they didn't fight it. They was mad. They was like, we didn't do anything. So that's why the fans was telling Dan to shut the F up because he was thinking that he was doing something. OC was out there clowning as usual. Ethan Page kind of was semi-clowning with him. But the clown stuff that happened with Dan Lambert, he took a little bit of his orange juice, and I'm talking about OC. OC got Ethan Page's orange juice, and he drank some of it. Then Ethan Page had tried to hit him. He dunked, knocked him out, then ran into Dan Lambert and spit the orange juice in him, making him run off the ropes or whatever. So they get back to the match. OC does his finish. It takes Ethan Page out. The crowd goes crazy. So a decent opener. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we could have got a better matchup. Like I said, listen, OC is well liked. I'm told that Turner Broadcasting says that OC must be on TV because every time he's on TV, the demos are up, the ratings are in, and OC is a vital pitcher for AEW, and I agree. because he has character. He's a lazy, daisical clown wrestler. That is who he is. But when he want to wrestle, he'll wrestle his behind off. So, decent opener. You know what I'm saying? I've seen better from the both of them, but you know it is what it is. So next, Tony Schiavone is standing there ready to interview Christian. Christian has more things to get off his chest. So they wanted him to apologize for the egregious things he said about Jungle Boy's family. He said, well, I wish everybody in Jungle Boy's family would die, except for his mama. I think she needs to call me. And so a lot of people think I was coming out here and I'm dressed in street clothes because I asked for a match. Well, I didn't ask for a match for me. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Khan somebody must have got back to Tony Khan that they must have was watching my video. I said I wanted to see Luchasaurus become a heel. Now, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I think they kind of jumped the gun a little bit too fast because I wanted them to play with this thing. I think they could have played around with it for a good minute. They could. I get it. Jungle Boy is out, so they kind of like, man, what can we do? Like, maybe we might have to go ahead and pull the trigger right now. Sorry, my phone just fell off. Luchasaurus is now on evil mode. Evil Luchasaurus has new music, came out the heel tunnel, and he looked demonic. He looked like a demonic dinosaur. That's what he looked like. And I was like, oh my goodness. I said, dang, Luchasaurus then turned on he's on the dark side now. And I said that's what I wanted. So Tony Khan did the right thing. I just think that they could have played along with it until Jungle Boy got back. I think they could have played just a little bit. So Serpentico was out there and he looked like he did not want that match. He was frightened. He was scared. And Luchasaurus went in there and manhandled him. He destroyed. Now, I would love to hear from my boy OTR Essential. Now, I haven't seen Jeff in a while. Jeff ain't really been tweeting about wrestling or nothing like that. I would love to hear what he has to say because he's one of the biggest Luchasaurus fans on the planet. Now they turn Luchasaurus into a heel. I wonder what his reaction is going to be. I'm down with it because that's what I wanted. But I think for me, I think they could have played some time, play it off until Jungle Boy get back. Once Jungle Boy get back, then we go full-fledged heel. Luchasaurus, I'm like, look, I'm cool with it because this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. I said I want to see a heel Luchasaurus. I want it. Tony Khan said, you asked for it, you shall receive. So this is actually a pretty cool segment. I was cool with it. I was like, yes, sir. I said Luchasaurus is a heel. However, I think they could have played some time before they did it. Play along with it. Like, let's lead some people on. Make it seem like Luchasaurus can't make up his mind like he's being brainwashed by Christian or something. Play along. Then when Jungle Boy come back, you play this thing like, okay, Christian was on some bull jive, man. Listen, we got to go get those tag team titles back. So they get a matchup since they love to wrestle the Young Bucks. And listen, when they wrestle the Young Bucks, their matches be pretty good. They wrestle the Young Bucks one more time for those tag team titles. However, they don't win, and it's not because of Christian this time. It's because of Luchasaurus. I think that could have been a better storyline they could have told. And then next week, Lucha explains why he did what he did to Jungle Boy. But they jumped the gun. They said, we turned this cat evil immediately. So kudos to Tony Khan for doing that. I was cool with that segment. So yeah, he makes him submit, choke slam him after the match. So now we got was Alex Marvez or Tony Schiavone, 1 or 2. They was backstage with both Warlow and Scorpion Sky. Both of them talking about, all right, that's it. I'm gonna wrestle you. I'm gonna take that TNT title. And Sky said, you want my title? Well, check this out. He told him, I need you to bring every member of America's top team, and I'll treat each and every one of them just like how I did those clown security guards. Scorpion Sky said, all right, cool. Since you talking all you think you big and bad, I'll see you behind next week on Dynamite, and we'll face each other for this TNT championship, but in a street fight. Right to the point, said what they had to say. But ladies and gentlemen, ain't no way in the world Warlow losing. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I know Scorpion Sky hasn't done a goddamn thing with this championship, and it's unfortunate. But we got to move on. It's time to get the TNT championship back to prestige level. And it's unfortunate that we got the championship and it's a circus act. It's a joke. That's on Tony Khan's helmet. Tony Khan gonna have to live with himself. The fact that the only reason he put that championship on Scorpion Sky was for tokenism and tokenism only. Don't tell me it wasn't, because Scorpion Sky hasn't done a goddamn thing with that championship. He's done nothing. So I'm just telling you the bold-faced truth. Congratulations, Warlow, for becoming the next TNT champion. Now, this matchup I was very upset about. Now, people will say, why are you upset with everybody who took place in this? So, the Guns, they called Danhausen out, and they said they wanted a trios match with Danhausen for pulling that foolishness at Forbidden Door. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have been on the fence about not possibly getting behind this faction of Max Caster, the A-Boys, Billy Gunn, and Anthony Bowens. But as of late, these circus clowns have been making this thing work. It's a comedy act through and through. And I was like, I don't know how it's going to work. They come out, Max Caster, man, listen, Max Caster and these cheesy rhymes somehow just be good, man. They be cheesy as heck, but he just make them be good, especially with that line what he said about Danhausen. He's talking about how this white boy run around here wearing white face. I said, you know what? Listen, just saying what he had to say, man. Just going in, telling the truth. God, listen. And then you already know what you're going to get with Anthony. Detroit, Michigan. You know, listen. Over. So, here come this circus clown Danhausen. He come out. He said, hey, boys, you called me out. You say you want a match with me. Well, I looked in the back. I got some cats who I think they're pretty good at wrestling. Who come walking out? FTR. I said, oh. And I'm like, I'm frustrated because you just had these cats win on the pre-show, and you know, I'm like, if you're trying to get this so-called faction over, wouldn't you think you would set them up to go against somebody outside of FTR? No. When FTR came out, I just knew it was over. I was like, man, matchup was okay, man. It was alright. It was an okay match. It's everything that took place at the end that I need to just break down. So, it looks like the Guns and them look they have a somewhat slight advantage because they look like getting ready to take out Danhausen, right? Crowd is hype for this whole match because it's FTR now. They like FTR. The Gun Boys are somehow over. They over a sec. You know, Max Caster and Bowens and Billy, they got it over. Like, I'm thinking to myself, like, this, they're going to somehow try to do something with this thing, right? So, they look like they're ready to have this match done. The crowd flips. They split their wig and it's jumping. Anthony Bowens is heel. He pops up in the ring. He has the cast, and he looked like he finna lay out Dan. He accidentally waxed Austin with the thing with the crutch, and that's how they end up losing. FTR comes in, they do the moves on them, match over. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, Tony Khan, you've been spending a few weeks trying to get, my bad, you've been a whole month. You've been spending a whole month trying to get us to be invested in this faction of the Acclaim, the A-Boys, and Billy Gunn, just to break them up just like that. And I was like, what the heck? Why did you waste our time with this so-called faction just to destroy them? This is why I said it was stupid. It was dumb. It was dumb to put them together in the first place if you knew it wasn't going to go nowhere. This is what I said. This inconsistent booking with this clown. Tony Khan he's a good booker. I'm not saying he's bad, but sometimes, man, it's the inconsistency. He's very inconsistent. He'll do something good, then he'll do something stupid. So the whole faction was a complete waste of time. And it was it was just because Anthony was hurt. No, Tony Khan was really serious about putting these clowns together. And when they first formed, I wasn't on board. I was like, nah, I don't see it. But it took a couple of weeks to finally get me to join in. I was like, dog. And now it's done. So, after everything happened, they in the ring. They trying to calm everybody down. Anthony like, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Colton kind of getting a little upset. Billy Gunn like, yo, calm down. So then Anthony goes to try to pick up Austin. Austin pushes him off, right? So now the Guns are kind of going at it with Max and Anthony. Out the woodwork, Billy Gunn basically pushes his boys off. And I'm sitting up here saying to myself, wait a minute. Are you telling me that we are about to have the Gun Boys be by themselves? And you telling me that you're going to have Billy Gunn manage the Acclaim? Is that what you? Because that's what I was like, what? So the father is saying, my boys are losers. I'm rolling with the Acclaim because they the real ones, and which is true. But I'm like, you gonna do your own boys? I don't know where this goes. I don't know. Here's my take right here. Anthony is 100% now. He's back. Let's start getting the Acclaim to where they need to be, because since what took place with Santana, LAX or Proud and Powerful, they on the shelf right now as trying to go for those tag team titles. They on the shelf. Let's get the Acclaim to where they need to be. Let's get the Acclaim to where they need to be. If Billy Gunn is going to manage the Acclaim must be next in line to take those tag team titles off the Young Bucks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If this is where we're going, if this is where Tony Khan is going to lead, if this is the direction that he's trying to go, by all means, the Acclaim should be next in line. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Danhausen, I can't stand Danhausen for the life of me. I know the fans, they like this guy. I really tried to get behind this circus clown, and it's just nothing's working. Nothing is working. Listen, anytime I see this fool on television, I want to see him get his behind kicked. I'm sorry. I just want to see him get jumped. I truly want to see him get beat down every time I see him on TV. Danhausen does absolutely nothing for me. He's just on TV just because. So, that's that. We get a promo. Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, calling out Samoa Joe again. They acknowledged it. Ring of Honor is having another. Their next pay-per-view is called Death Before Dishonor, which will premiere on pay-per-view July 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. They called out Samoa Joe, and they said, listen, you've been sitting on the shelf. You think you're this, you think you're that. It's time for the real, true, longest reigning Ring of Honor television champion to get his championship back. We're not playing games with you no more, Samoa Joe. We'll see your behind at the show. And then after Sanjay and Jay Lethal said what they had to say, Satnam Singh said, hey, Joe, JL gonna kill you, man. Basically saying Samoa Joe's line, Joe's gonna kill you. JL gonna kill you, man. Right to the point. Right to the point. This is setting us up for the pay-per-view. I liked it. It was a good second. Now, the ladies match. Jade Cargill versus Layla Gray. Now, Layla Gray used to be with WWE. She went under another name. This matchup did what it was supposed to do. You knew you weren't gonna get no Matt Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, from here on out, if you know we know squash matches are gonna be a thing with Jade Cargill until she gets the real competition that she rightfully wants. So I ain't even tripping. I don't want to hear nobody, because I know people will say, I'm tired of these squashes. I said, ladies and gentlemen, do you understand that's what her character calls for? Listen, I accept it. I know some people don't want to accept it, and I know why they don't want to accept it. But I'm accepting it because this is where she's at right now, ladies and gentlemen. She carries herself like a real champion. She comes out there, her demeanor is, listen, get the heck out of my way. If you ain't trying to be down with the baddie section, I'm about to lay your behind out. That's just basically what the attitude is. Layla didn't even stand a chance. Layla tried to do a little something. Jade Cargill took care of the business. She didn't play with her food. And now she is 34-0. After the match, Stokely Carmichael talking. He said some foolishness, talking some clown stuff. Jade said, give me that mic. Listen. She said, I'm tired of people in the back complaining. Girls in the back complaining, talk about some Jade Cargill don't know what she's doing. Listen, I'm here to whoop behind. Give me some real competition. Let me get, like I said, I'm tired of these fake, she started cussing and saying all this other stuff, right? So, as soon as she said what she said, here come Chris Statlander and Athena. They come running out there. They try to attack them. They try to lay them out. Kiera was right there. Listen, I'm telling you right now what's finna transpire. It's gonna be a triple threat. I'm telling you what's going to happen. It's going to be a triple threat. Now, Tony Khan loves to book a tag team match. If I'm him, I'm gonna book the tag team match. I won't book the tag team match right now, but it's gonna be a tag team match. It's gonna be Kiera and Jade versus Chris Statlander and Athena. It's going to happen. But somewhere down the line, Athena and Chris are going to have some kind of miscommunication, and it's going to cost them. I know what's coming. It's bound to happen. But I'm cool with everything that took place. I don't have a problem with it. Stokely Carmichael sound like a straight clown because that's his job. He's supposed to. Listen, I told you. Listen, I know a lot of people be always talking about black people be cooning and all that stuff. Listen, excuse my language. Listen, we can be silly all we want. As long as we not shucking and jiving, saying, all that, I'm fine with it. I know some people gonna be like, listen, let me tell you something. I'm not, like I said, I'm only speaking to black wrestling fans right now that love WWE because they cape for a whole lot of the shucking and jiving that go on in WWE. They cape for it and they say it's nothing wrong with that, but they'll be quick to say certain things in AEW shucking and jiving, which I'll call it out. If I see some buck dance and stuff in AEW, I'm gonna call this stuff out immediately. So this ain't no buck dance and stuff. I'm cool with it. So I just want to set the record straight. Oh, and after all the stuff, Layla looked like she was ready to join the baddie section. And she looked like she was finna try to go shake Stokely Hathaway's hand. Jade Cargill pushed that girl out and pushed him and said, no, let's roll. Let's get out of here. Listen, she's asserting herself. And I told Jade, this is Jade's stage, ladies and gentlemen. This is her stage. This is her, look, she is the TBS champion. Listen, this is her world and we living in it, ladies and gentlemen. We're living in it. I'm cool with it. Young Bucks, they cut a great promo. Listen, man, when the Young Bucks ain't clowning, the Young Bucks some of the best. They give you some of the best segments around. I clown the Young Bucks all the time because to me, sometimes they come across the circus clown. This segment right here, one of the circus clown segments because why? They admitted all of their friends are injured. Red Dragon on the shelf. Adam Cole Bebe on the shelf. Kenny Omega on the shelf. And they looked down. And they said, listen. Now, they kind of threw a shot at FTR because they said, since all of our friends are hurt, we're trying to look to see if there's anybody left on the roster that's on our level. I said, well, you have FTR sitting right there, ladies and gentlemen. They said, we heard fools that wrestled at the Forbidden Door, Gado and the other clown, They say they want a piece of us, and they want a piece of these AEW Tag Team Championships. Well, we'll see you clowns at Rampage. Cut right to the point. They said they called them out. Hiriko Gato and Yoshihashi. They called them clowns out, and they said, we'll see you fools on Rampage. Excellent promo for the Young Bucks. Great. I loved it. I'm telling you, when the Young Bucks ain't acting a fool, man, I'm telling you, they give you some of the best segments on TV. They do. I told you, I give the Young Bucks props when I give them props. When they doing some stupid stuff, I tell you they doing something stupid. But for the most part, the Young Bucks, man, it was great. And you can feel that you can look at their faces. They look like they was hurt because all of they homies is out. They homies is out. And they like, dang, we the last two standing. We are the last two standing. Kenny Omega on the show. Adam Cole just got put on the show. Red Dragon, which is Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly on the show. What the clown are we going to do? Oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to defend these championships on Rampage. So, before the main event, JR comes out. Now, JR was missing the whole show. I'm not sure if they just let JR chill in the back. I don't know what the situation was. JR was missing. Taz was on commentary. He was filling in. And Tony Schiavone Tony was there, but Tony was in the back. So, it was just Taz and Excalibur basically calling the whole show. JR come out. He's greeted. The Oklahoma theme song that he has. Fans go crazy. They going nuts. Everybody going wild. So they start bringing down the big cage, the twin cage, whatever you want to call it. They bring it down. So we get ready for the main event. Blood and Guts, the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Now because they won the match on from last week, they get the advantage by being able to start first. So, we kicked the match off. Sammy and Claudio, they kicked the match off. They was doing work, beating each other up. Everybody was booing Sammy as usual, all this stuff. I'm just about to just basically get to what we need to talk about. So, everybody just beating each other up. Daniel Garcia get busted open. Moxley decided to get busted open again. Jake Hager in there. Just everything. And then you got bald head up. Man, listen, Ortiz looked like a dog on Pokemon. The way his head was, he had the bald head part red and then the bottom part white. Now, it's interesting how Santana didn't have no makeup on. That was very interesting. I said, are they trying to do a singles runs with the both of these cats? Santana tried to do something. Santana got up and down. Santana tried to do a rock bottom on, I believe it was Matt. Now, the way how his body was crooked. And I'm talking about Santana. The way how he was standing. So when he tried to do the rock bottom, he came down on his knee the wrong way. And you saw how his knee just bent awkward. And I was like, dang. I said, I see it. The man is injured. He's done. And he tried to do a little something. He was done. So, but that spot didn't ruin the match. After everybody got in there, Kingston got in there, Jericho got in there. Listen, the first Blood and Guts match was okay, despite Santana's injury. Everybody worked well. Everybody was just, listen, Jeff bleeding all over the place. Garcia. Dog. Yuta was putting in work. Willa Yuta was out there. Listen, him joining the Blackpool Club, Combat Club, listen, it's done wonders for him. It's done wonders for him, man. Listen, everybody was putting in work. Like they did not allow Santana's injury to derail the match. I know it probably caught a lot of cats off guard. Just everybody was doing work. People just listen. It was a beatdown, and the crowd was going ape. They were going ape. So let's talk about the last couple of parts. So Jericho and Eddie Kingston, they crawl all the way up top. Sammy goes up there, and you knew somebody was gonna get thrown off. I was thinking about Hell in a Cell 1998. You remember? I think that was the Valentine's show, Valentine's Day Massacre, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody talks about it. One of the most craziest Hell in a Cell in WWE/WWF history. Mankind and Undertaker. You remember when Undertaker threw Mick Foley off this cage? Somebody was getting thrown off. Eddie Kingston messed around and threw Sammy off. He went flying through that little table that was right there, crowd marked off. So then Claudio comes up, Jericho's up there, and I believe it was Matt. Matt was up there, right? So both of them has got the submission. Eddie Kingston has Jericho in the submission, and then Claudio has Matt in the submission, right? So who's gonna tap? And Claudio ended up making Matt tap, and so that kind of bothered Eddie. They won the match, but you could tell Eddie was like, "Dang, like I thought Jericho was gonna tap." Like, man, like, and it's almost like, dog, my man come in and stealing my thunder, man. It's like he wanted to be happy for him because they let bygones be bygones because they had to work together. They had no choice. If they wanted to win the match, the story was, how well can Claudio and Eddie Kingston coexist? How well can they work together? And throughout the whole match, they was able to coexist fine. But once we got to the very end, you could tell Eddie Kingston was like, he played it off, because Eddie quote-unquote doesn't like to do well with others unless it's his homeboy, Moxley. He played it off, but you could tell it was bothersome. Then the rest of the clowns got up there. They all clowned. They all got up there. They all stood up. Even Bryce finally got up there and everything. And, but you can see it. You can see it in Eddie. Eddie looked bothered. And Claudio was like, listen, man, I know you wanted that win, man, but listen, I won the match. Now, let me tell you something. For the fools that was always on, they was on Claudio's helmet and all he's just going to be just like everybody else. The man came through to one of the biggest pops at the pay-per-view on Sunday night. Then messed around and got it to the main event on Dynamite. Listen, if I don't know what a push is, he's just gonna be he's just gonna go under the radar as usual, and he's gonna be just there to be there. Now, Claudio was the reason why they won the match. Blood and Guts 2 was better than Blood and Guts 1, even with Santana's injury that messed up everything, but they still was able to give us something that we will never forget. These cats, they went in there, they went to work, they tore each other up, bleeding all over the place, called Blood and Guts for a reason. Jericho, Moxley Dane there poking cats in the head with, I don't know what the heck he was poking cats in the head with, but I mean, they just, listen, the Jericho Society got beat down. The Jericho Associate, and then you had Tay. Oh yeah, now Tay tried to get up in the match. Tay tried to, she had got a key, and she was trying to get in the match. Now, I was sitting up and saying to myself, well, for the third Blood and Guts, I said I believe the women will be in the Blood and Guts. Tay trying to get in there. The crowd goes crazy. Ruby Soho comes running out, takes her out, and they start beating each other up, and they go into the back. Now, I'm sitting up and saying, if Tony Khan wants to do long-term storytelling, that can set up the women for next year, because what do we keep saying? We want the ladies to be on the same playing field as the fellas. Because when everybody eats, when everybody's on the same playing field, no matter what gender, no matter race, regardless, you're going to have an outstanding wrestling program. You will. So, if the women are going to get in the Blood and Guts, that's where you start from. You start from there right there. You start. So, the feud is going on. Ruby Soho versus Taya Conte has just begun, and this is going to lead all the way to next year in Blood and Guts. It's got to. So I don't know who all the ladies is going to be participating. I do know the Bunny will be in it because the Bunny love to bleed. Anna Jay, she definitely going to be a part. We know that. So I know for a fact that the Bunny, Ruby Soho, Anna Jay, and Taya Conte will be in the Blood and Guts next year. I'm telling you right now. The ladies will be in the third Blood and Guts. It's going to be an all-female Blood and Guts next year. You can remember this video. Remember I said it. Right there. If Tony Khan wants to do quote-unquote long-term booking, you start right there. Start from that very segment between Ruby and Taya. The fact that she wouldn't grab us. So I just wanted to, talk about that situation. But that's it. That's Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, Dynamite was good. I'm not finna say that it was a bad show. It was not bad. Dynamite was good. I just felt that it could have been a little bit better. But the fact that we coming off a pay-per-view, and I'm like, this is Blood and Guts. You got to go hard throughout the entire show. Like, don't just give me some stupid stuff and then no, go hard in the paint for the whole show. And I'm gonna say 50% of the show outstanding. The other 50, you know. But that's my review. Like I said, no intro. Like I said, it's a super late upload. I heard about Sasha's situation. WWE don't want to let her go. Rajan already told everybody. One of the girls that worked in the back, part of the lawyer team, I forgot her name. She said that Sasha was released. I need Naomi to get released, and we'll be good. We'll be good. But Vince and them don't want to let her go. And then I just recently seen a video of Bianca basically saying that she wrestled herself at WrestleMania 37. Vince McMahon is that petty that he don't want he don't want Bianca mention Sasha's name. That's just wrong. That's wrong. That's what I say. I'm Sasha. I'm not coming back. I don't care if that fool got both, because you know who's talking to her. You know who's trying to convince her to stay. It's not Vince. It ain't Bruce. It's only two people. Who genuinely loves Sasha Banks in the back? It's only two people. Triple H and Stephanie. They are the only two. That's who's talking to her. That's who's trying to convince her to stick around. It's Triple H and Stephanie. It's nobody else. When I heard they said that they trying to convince her to stay, I'm Sasha, I'm gone. Especially now the fact that you got my girl Bianca trying to make it seem that she wrestled herself at 37. Come on now. That's disrespectful. That's disrespect. And I hate the fact they're using a black woman to put another black woman down. I hate that mess, man. WWE always showcase why I always come at them for they straight up white supremacy, for some straight stupid stuff like that. That's why a lot of people don't want to call them out on that. They don't. Like I said, I seen the video, man. I was like, man, ain't no way. I know they did not have her, because she was basically trying to, like, she wanted to say Sasha, but she couldn't. She was only following directions, because I know they probably said if you say Sasha, you know what's coming. And you know, watch this. And because that video is probably gonna go viral, what's gonna happen is people are gonna start hating on Bianca, and they're gonna make it out as if Bianca was being big-headed herself, that she was the only thing that happened at WrestleMania 37, when no, it was her and Sasha going in there making history. First time ever black women are main eventing a WrestleMania. First time. Garbage. Just straight garbage. It was stupid. I saw that mess. I said, man, come on. Prayers up to Dana. I forgot, Dana Brooke. I heard she was in a terrible car accident. Just, pray all is well with her. Pray that she, makes a speedy recovery. I heard the situation. Yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't have anything else to say. Fruity Pebbles came back 20 years. Listen, I was on the Fruity Pebbles bandwagon in 2005. I was on the bandwagon, but I think after 06, I think like mid 07, I kind of got off. But the fact that the man has been in the game for 20 years, that's a testament to him. I seen that man look like a pencil now. John Cena looked like a doggone pencil. He looked like a pencil. I was like, man, look at Fruity Pebbles over here. Look at Fruity Pebbles, But that's my honest review about the show. The show was a good show. Blood and Guts was good. Blood and Guts 2 was a good show. I don't want people to sit up here and think that I'm saying the show was bad. It's just I felt that it could have went a little bit harder with certain things that they tried to present. Tony Khan, the name of the game is don't be inconsistent. This is what I ask of you, young man. I want you to be consistent. You give me an outstanding pay-per-view, I want an outstanding Dynamite to follow through. I don't want to come on here and say that the show was just good. I don't want to say just good. I want the show to wow me, to blow me away. And if the show ain't blowing me away, we got a problem, man. And it seems to be that way. It seems to be he does this stuff. He'll give me something good one day, and then the next week it's just like, dog. So on Rampage, we getting a battle royal to determine who gonna go against Moxley. Same old. Like I wish they would come up with something creative. Battle royal again. Who gonna win the battle royal? Whoever wins, they get Moxley. It's the same old, same old. How many times we gonna see it? I feel like AEW do battle royals so much they not even important. We get battle royals so much in AEW, it don't even make no sense. I'm like, man, like, is it important? Yeah, but it doesn't feel important. It just feel like, okay, let's just throw a bunch of clowns in here. Don't really get them too much TV time. Just throw them in here, and we already know whoever wins is not beating Moxley. It's already been predetermined, so you already know that. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Caseyville, King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. Hit the freaking comment section up. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. I do everything in my power to be as authentic as I can to elaborate what I'm talking about when it's concerning AEW or wrestling as a whole. You know me, I'm gonna give it to you raw. I'm gonna give you straight with no chaser. Like I said, that's how it is over here in Caseyville Wrestling Takes. I will talk to you cats later. I'll let you boy.